Tired of feeling tired? Done with diet culture? Overwhelmed by conflicting nutrition and fitness messages? Then join us, your hosts of the Nutrition Revolution podcast, as we take a deep dive into all things women's fitness and nutrition. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Tabitha. And together we are debunking diet culture myths and giving you the tools you need to finally see the results you're looking for. It's time to revolutionize your nutrition and training. All right, happy Halloween to the Nutrition Revolution podcast family. I hope you all are going to enjoy more treats than tricks today. Fitting that podcast episode drop day lands on Halloween this year. So, of course, we're going to talk about navigating Halloween candy with sanity and strategy without guilt or the chaos. We're going to talk about how the few fun-sized Snickers are not the problem. They're not the enemy. It's more our mindset and our approach to Halloween candy. But first, Kimberly has some scary, that's appropriate.
They're scary.
Some scary Halloween candy statistics. And no, we're not talking about needles in your candy or pieces of glass.
Drugs. We're
not talking about
that we used to have.
The scary stuff being all of the sugar that's consumed in this night and its impact. All right. So Kimberly, without further ado, please share with us your scary Halloween statistics.
It was shockingly scary when we looked this up. So the average American kid consumes 3 cups of sugar just on Halloween.
3 cups.
3 cups.
3 cups.
Crazy.
Okay, y'all, run to your pantry, scoop out 3 cups of sugar into a bowl, and then faint.
And show it to your children.
Just
this is what you're consuming.
I mean, you gotta figure, you make a batch. I make a batch of chocolate chip cookies, and there's not that much sugar in there.
3/4 cup of sugar.
3/4 white, 3/4 brown sugar.
Yeah.
So it's a cup and a half.
Yeah.
So that's twice the amount. An entire batch of cookies, and I get at least
2 or 3
2.5 dozen out of that. Wow. Okay, mind blown. Carry on.
So 3 cups of sugar, which is about 7,000 calories of candy.
7,000 calories of sugar in non-full-grown sized people.
Right.
Like, we're not talking
with zero nutritional, there's no nutrients in any of this.
Just blood sugar spikes and inflammation out of control. Okay.
This is why teachers are like, please cancel school.
Oh yeah.
Before and after Halloween, because kids are a nightmare.
Kids are literally
a nightmare. They eat more than 16 times the recommended amount of sugar.
Okay. And so the recommended amount of sugar, I think a better way to say that is the upper limit. Like, we should keep added sugar in children to no more than how much per day.
So American Heart Association says 25 grams of sugar. So 6 teaspoons is about all that kids should be having.
Yeah. And 6 teaspoons, what is it? Is it 3 teaspoons teaspoons is a tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons of sugar per day is the max that health experts say children should be consuming. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that is what your goal should be. Your goal should be as little as possible. But for longevity, health, and all of that, trying not to go over that.
Right. So I was looking up because I was interested to see, so with candy, what does this look like for sugar content? So a fun size, that's like the little ones, right?
Yeah.
Fun size Snickers bar is 8.5 grams of sugar.
8.5 grams, okay.
A little bag of Skittles is 11 grams.
11 grams.
3 Musketeers, 10 grams. Just one of those little Hershey chocolate bars, 7.5 grams.
It adds up quick.
Yeah. The only fun size candy that's about in range is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And they have protein too.
I was going to say, and a little bit of fiber, like 1 gram
right?
of that protein.
So 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup
the peanut butter
is 6.5 grams. Yeah. So this is why kids are crazy. I also saw a study that was like, we call it flu season, but it's actually just sugar season. The kids are just sick and
they don't feel good.
And
they get headaches. They have energy crashes, which leads to mood swings and irritability and poor sleep. And it's
out
true.
Of routine.
And before people are like, oh my gosh, let them be kids and have fun. Like, before they want to cancel us. I had this conversation with my mom recently, like, because that's been something that I've dealt with my in-laws, my parents as grandparents, like what happens here stays here, and what they want, they get. And I'm like, okay, how about though we change that narrative to like, hear me out. These children are developing and growing, and even if they physically as teenagers reached their peak stature, what they're going to be, their brains are still growing and developing. Instead of treating them like mini garbage disposals, where like, oh, they can handle it, they're young,
they'll burn it off.
That actually sets the stage for disordered eating as adults.
Yeah, okay? It creates binging patterns.
Think about yourself. I know that's something that I have had to spend years working on, overcoming that mentality that like, oh, I used to just be able to eat whatever I want, mean translation, have as much sugar and junk food as I want, and it was fine. And then it catches up to you, right? So then you're dealing with that. Why don't we start at the very beginning, teaching our children moderation? I'm not saying don't have candy. Yeah. Listen, there is no reality or world where Tabitha Myers will not have chocolate and candy. I don't want to live in that place. Yeah. But let's practice and teach moderation. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Abundance, not scarcity.
Yeah. I was going to say, because what Halloween does, if you say, oh, just, eat it all on this day, is that scarcity mindset of now I need to eat all of it because it's going to go away and I'm only going to get to do this once a year versus
and I shouldn't have it. So because I shouldn't have it, I'm going to give myself permission for this one day, but I'm going to consume
eat 7,000 calories worth of it
of sugar, feel like trash for days, mind you, not just like for a night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because it disrupts their sleep and that carries over versus just saying like, all right, have a couple pieces tonight and then a couple pieces, you have it throughout the week. My kids have like a bucket of Halloween candy and they just leave it in their room and they eat it as they want it. And my son just came down with it yesterday and threw it all away. He was like, this is all stale.
From last year.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't tell them you can't eat it. Like it's there. They just don't eat it.
Yeah. We usually end up tossing candy come like February. Yeah. I'll be like, why is this still lurking in my pantry? And it's like, been picked over. They're no longer interested in it. Okay. Yeah. Were those all of the statistics, the scary statistics?
Yes, those are scary. That is scary statistics. I think that's enough.
It's terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what do we do? Yeah. I think two things, some mindset strategies and then some practical solutions and alternatives to 3 cups of sugar in one night or even 3 cups of sugar spread out over the next couple of weeks. Right. Yeah. So let's start with some mindset tips. What do you got for us, Kimberly?
So mindset wise, I think it's, kind of like we said, it's important to, I think, tell your kids and expose your kids to this. If you put 3 cups of sugar out on a table and show your kids like this is this many Snickers bars or this is, like be honest with them and show them that, but then also explain, here's how this affects your body. In not like a scare you kind of way, because the kids should be allowed to have candy.
Yeah. Here's how it affects your body in excess, in these extreme quantities.
Right.
Okay.
Don't go crazy.
A few pieces on that night of their favorite candy is not going to be the end of the world. Okay.
Yeah. So just I think that's important to like, have those conversations with them. I think anytime you can have the conversations around food and health for a kid, they're going to follow that much better than just being like, no, you can't have it or go all out.
Yeah, I agree. I love food neutrality. Food isn't good or bad. It's just food. Yeah. Right. It has value and it has power rather, I guess I should say, when we assign it value. Yeah. But in reality, that Snickers is just sitting there. Right. It's not doing anything. Yeah. It is completely neutral. When we look at it and say, oh, that's bad, now we've given it power. Yeah. So I think working on your food neutrality, candy isn't good or bad, it's just food. Those labels can actually cause us stress unnecessarily, right? And then we always talk about that scarcity mindset. So dropping a scarcity mindset of, oh, I can have it all tonight and then it needs to be done, to reminding yourself that you could have candy anytime, not just today. And at that point, I think that circles back to the American Heart Association's recommendation to keep added sugar to no more than 25 grams a day. If you take a fun-sized Snicker Milky Way, Reese's, and maybe one more. That's going to hit you right about there.
Yeah.
So you could have 3 to 4 fun-sized pieces that you really enjoy daily and stay under the recommendation that health experts have outlined that will be the best for longevity and health. So right there, they're not saying don't ever have added sugar, because that's not reality.
Yeah. I mean, I teach my kids, like, they see me putting chocolate chips on my yogurt.
Absolutely.
And I try to tell them, like, yeah, I'm having some chocolate that I enjoy with some really good nutrient-dense foods that
have protein and
the things
calcium
my body needs,
and
right?
Yeah, some good complex carbs.
They'll make their little charcuterie boards now with apples and chocolate chips and peanut butter and, you know, their whatever they have on there, you know, like, it's just part of our, this is what we do. This is how we enjoy a snack and get nutrients together.
One of my daughters, it's actually her go-to post-training snack for like soccer nights. I pick her up, I would do a whole banana, I put natural peanut butter on it, and then mini chocolate chips.
Yeah.
And she loves
delicious.
it, and it's moderated, right? It's not overflowing with sugar and junk, but then there's potassium and magnesium in the banana and good carbs and protein to help replenish glycogen stores and repair those muscles. So it's a really well-balanced snack that has health benefits and also tastes good.
Yeah, tastes good.
Yeah, it's balanced. So, okay, mindset, the biggest thing is, I think, food neutrality. It's not good or bad. Getting rid of that abundance mindset that, like, you have to eat it all tonight because it's so much. And so you're just going to, I'm just going to binge and overindulge tonight, and then it's going to somehow be okay.
Yeah. And I think another thing that you kind of have to watch for, especially as your kids are getting older, is the shame in the morning part. So just kind of keep your eye out to see if they're having any of that feelings of, like, guilt or shame from eating Halloween candy.
I can't believe I did that. It's like, okay, we did that. Let's learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
And permission leads to peace. So when the candy isn't forbidden, it does lose its power. Right? Instead of walking around constantly saying to your kid or to even yourself, like, you shouldn't have that, it's bad, shouldn't have it, it's not good for you. Be like, hey, you really enjoy the fun-sized Twizzlers and Twix and Nerds. Okay, cool. Let's pull those out of the candy bag and let's set them aside, and you can enjoy, like, one of each daily.
Yep.
Until it's gone, because you can have it today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Yeah, you don't have to shove it all in tonight
and make yourself feel sick. You can just enjoy it and know that you can have it tomorrow.
Yeah. So with my kids, I started a couple different strategies. I feel like I have to kind of switch it up every once in a while. And now they're older, so they kind of understand it. But when they were younger, we did the switch witch. Which
I love, by the way. I wish I would have known about the switch witch when my kids were little.
Thought it was awesome. And I didn't do it the way, like, some people just take their kids' candy and then put something else in its place. I would say, do you want the switch witch to come? And what do you want? And then I would take them to Target.
You're giving them the power there to make that choice.
So they had that choice. So they would always say, yeah. So I'd let them pick 10 pieces of candy out. And then we would put all the rest in little baggies. And I would keep it in my car all winter. And when we saw homeless, we would hand them candy for the homeless, and they thought that was awesome. They loved handing it out to the homeless. Sometimes we put some money in it or something and give it to the homeless.
Awesome.
And then
that's a great strategy. Y'all write that down.
And it was
have the switch witch come. Ask your kids, do they want the switch witch?
Yeah,
and
ask them,
so they would switch out for other things that they wanted. Like, give us some examples.
Oh my gosh! So one year they switched out. My son wanted a football. Like, my daughter she loved all of the American Girl dolls, so she would trade her stuff for, like, the American Girl doll, like, clothing set or something.
Accessories.
Yeah, so I would just take them and, like, $20. Here you go. Go pick something from Target.
Love that.
So that was a lot of it. Now this year, they watched this YouTuber guy, Ryan Trahan. He's like he does all sorts of fun stuff on YouTube, but he has a candy called Joyride. And we don't usually do stevia, so his candy has stevia, but it's all dye-free. So it's, in their brain, they're like, Jackson can't have dye. So he's like, this is a better option. So they already told me, actually today, when we go trick-or-treating, we're going to trade in our candy for some Joyride candy that we want to try. I was like, fine, that sounds great. Like, they're already, like, planning. Now they use it against me. So they're already planning, what they're going to do. And so, and they look forward to every year bagging it up, and they know, like, this is what we do with it. We give it to the homeless, and they get joy out of it. And actually, the homeless love it. They always laugh because they're like, look, they're eating it already. So, it just provides that, like, joy for them and
Yeah, a little bit of service. Yeah. And as an alternative to, providing bags of candy to individuals who are homeless, giving it to the military. The military takes donations and they'll send it overseas to our servicemen and women that are maybe in an area where they can't get those simple joys and reminders of home. So if you have an excessive amount, you can be like, hey, why don't we give this to somebody that's serving to protect our country and
that's awesome.
Bring them joy. So individuals that are homeless, our military, I think even some shelters will take the candy. There's a couple local, I know, the Interfaith Mission for housing, and then the Shepherd's Place, which is a women's and children's shelter that you could drop off there as well. The Switch Witch, love that. That is the best in my opinion.
Yeah,
I wish I would have had that. And I think too, maybe even hey, here's a game plan. Let's have a nutrient dense dinner, right? Because one of the things that I know that I hear from my clients and have even struggled with in years past for myself was that concept of save the calories. So I'm going to skip a meal so that I can go binge on the candy, which really backfires because then you end up starving. You end up consuming way more than you would have, and you don't have the good protein and the fiber and those complex carbs to help stabilize the blood sugar response from that influx of all that candy that you then have.
Super good protein focused meal before you go out
to it. And that'll help you also regulate your hunger cues and controls because you won't be starving and shoving it in your mouth as fast as you can. You'll have that hunger's under control. Then you can actually slow down and really think about what pieces do I want that are going to really hit the spot. I'm giving myself permission to have this. Right? Don't even put a limit on it. Just say, I'm going to give myself permission to have this. What is really speaking to me? Enjoy it. Take your time with it. You don't have to shove it in your mouth and eat it in one bite, one gulp.
The way I see those kids walking down the street, just shoving everything in their mouth.
And then kind of just listen to your body. And then when you're like, you know what, I actually feel like I've had enough. I'm satisfied. I can have some more of this tomorrow if I want. You'll find peace and it'll lose that power. And you will find as you practice and work on that you're less likely to be like, no, but I have to have it all right now because it's bad and I shouldn't be. So I'm just going to do it all now. And losing that. Also, bonus, when you're out walking around, having a little bit then while you're still walking around, your muscles can use some of that
run to the next
sugar
stop.
Exactly that is insulin independent, so it helps with blood sugar stabilization while you're walking through the neighborhood versus coming home at night and then sitting down and binging it.
One of the conversations we have before we go out too is when you go, look for candy that you actually enjoy or that you want to try, because then you actually, for my kids, they had to look for ones that didn't have gluten. So Kit Kats were out, Twizzlers were out. And then now my son has braces, so he knows Starburst, all that kind of stuff is out because he can't have those. So look for candies that you actually can eat and enjoy, rather than just grabbing everything and wasting it.
I think that with some of these strategies and practical tips, Halloween candy doesn't have to be scary. The real trick will just be remembering that one night or one handful of chocolate doesn't define your health. It's your habits and your mindset that do. So, all right, happy trick-or-treating, y'all.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks for spending your time with us. If you found this podcast helpful, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe on your podcast platform. If you have nutrition or fitness questions you want answered on future episodes, we would love to hear from you. You can submit these questions to our email, thenutritionrevolutionpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram @thenutritionrevolutionpodcast.